Hi, here's a recipe that I remember from the 70s when I was in the Boy Scout. It was cooking steak directly on the coals. I have a ribeye steak, and here's some lump charcoal that's ready to go. Let me kind of gather a little bit. And one thing that caught my attention about this, I think it was called the Tarzan steak. Basically cooking steak, and I don't even remember what kind of steak it was, directly on the coals. I've always wanted to try it, and here's my chance. So lump charcoal's hot, steak's been salted and come to room temperature. So here we go. What do you think will happen? Alright, today I'm making what's called a Tarzan steak. So what I'm going to do with like I usually do with all steaks, is just sprinkle salt on all sides. This is I'm using kosher salt, and this is a ribeye. So just pat it in, and then let this come to room temperature in about an hour, or you could even do this overnight. So salting, and let come to room temperature. Salt all sides. And I'll prepare the coals. Alright, when you grill, especially with charcoal, you have two types of fuels. You have the briquettes, available pretty much everywhere, which is, briquettes are pre-formed, contains binders and fillers. It's a nice uniform product, holds the heat, lasts longer. Only downside for my Tarzan steaks is that they produce a lot of ash. The other fuel is lump charcoal. Basically, it's just wood that's been heated without oxygen. This dries away moisture, whatever sap is in the wood, and since the wood doesn't burn, you're left pretty much with a lot of carbon. So this is a purer product. Does not produce a lot of ash. One thing about lump charcoal, it burns hot and easier to ignite. So depending on what you're wanting to do, and in this case, since I am cooking directly on coals, I'm going to use lump charcoal. Here's the lump charcoal. One advantage of lump charcoal, unlike briquettes, is that it's ready to cook in 15 minutes. With briquettes, you have to wait for the briquettes to turn an ashen gray before you could use them. Alright, to light the lump charcoal, I'm just using a chimney starter, a couple pieces of paper, and this stuff should catch on pretty quick since it's pretty much like pure carbon or coal. So unlike the briquettes, you need a little more babying with briquettes. So I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Alright, the hardwood charcoal's been burning for about 10 minutes. Before I take the steak out, I'm going to dry it off. The salt draws out moisture from the steak, and then it goes back in, sort of like brining. So one thing, even though I'm cooking directly on the fire, on the charcoal, it's a good habit to soak up any extra moisture when you're going to cook beef or any meat, so it browns nicely. So just dry the plate off, dry the meat. Then let's go outside and take a look at the charcoal. Here we go. Okay, here are the charcoal. I'm going to spread it out, kind of an even layer. One thing about lump charcoal, the sizes are a little different. Oh, that's hot. What do you think will happen? I haven't even thought about the timing of this yet, so we'll see what happens. Let me try to lower this to get a bird's eye view. I should have brought a timer, so I'm going to just eyeball it. Definitely see the smoke. Everything's getting hot. This is definitely a hot flame. As I mentioned earlier, one reason I use lump charcoal is that it doesn't produce a lot of ash. I don't know how long it's been. I should have brought a timer out, but let me give it a quick flip and see what happens. Whoops. Not bad. I thought it'd be charred to a crisp. Some little bits are stuck, but it's actually looking like it's getting some decent color. It's still very rare, because look how squishy that is, if you could see it through the smoke. Let me try moving the camera. Now that everything's heated up, the fat on the side is rendering, but it's still pretty squishy. I set the house, there's a timer on the oven, I set it for 2 minutes. Yeah, very soft still. Push the coals back closer. Okay, I hear the timer. It's been 2 minutes. I'll flip it and run back into the kitchen and set the timer again for 2 minutes. Little charring there. Okay, I'll be back. 2 minutes. Hard to tell which way the smoke is blowing, but it's definitely blowing. It's getting there. It feels like it's medium rare right now. It's a little, let me flip it over one more time. Oh, that's some nice charring there. Nice golden brown, some black bits, but that's okay. I'll give it one more minute. I'll go by the video and mention how long it took. I'm thinking it's 5 to 6 minutes. One thing about, as I mentioned, lump charcoal, if this were briquettes, there'd be a lot of ash, but right now, as you can see, briquettes or the lump charcoal does not produce any ash. Alright, timer went off, another 2 minutes. I think I'll leave it at that. Some areas are blackened, but some areas are actually nicely golden charred. It's not bad. It feels like getting to medium just by the touch test. I'm going to take this inside and let it rest. Sorry. Alright, it's been 5 minutes since I brought the steak in. Let it rest. Let me cut it. Juices are slightly pink, so it might be more on the rare side, medium rare versus medium. But let's take a look. Just tried some juices, nice and has a nice salty flavor, beefy. Okay, let's take a look. Overall, not bad. Nice browning. A little bit darkening around the fat. That's okay, because that's just the way it is. Let's cut it right down the center and take a look. Actually, not bad. It's take a look. I'll let you know how long I cooked it. Sort of a medium rare, close to medium. It's not even though the camera might show it, it's not red rare. It's kind of a little rosy. So let's give it a quick shot. Yeah, a little burning near the bone and the fat, which is okay. This is also near the fat, so we could cut that off. But the rest of the steak looks pretty good. Yeah, this Tarzan steak or caveman steak or whatever they call it now. Yeah, that's definitely more medium, maybe a little medium rare. But this is a recipe that I wanted to try when I was in the Boy Scouts in the 70s, but never had the opportunity, and I thought about that recently, and it's like, oh, let's give it a shot. Oops, just dropped it on the floor. Sad day, but here's a bite. Actually, it has a nice grilled flavor. I think the charring, even though there's little bits of black specks, I think that adds some flavor, the typical grill flavor. But overall, it turned out successful. Yeah, I thought I'd get nothing but inedible coal for a steak, but it worked out really well. I'll add the time it took to cook this, and considering how it didn't burn for how long I cooked it, I could probably fine-tune this method to get to medium or medium well. A little more done than this, but it's actually pretty good. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, it's very good. Steak, fire, salt, good. Here's the rest of the steak as I'm cutting it. For sure, it's more medium, which is okay. It's good. I know some people would like it cut some more, and I think it's good to, you could actually just cook it longer without fear of it turning into charcoal. Alright, thanks for watching. Tune in another time. Please like and subscribe.